topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom natural holistic strategy in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power, and it's actually been over 11 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain. Mindset is the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different, in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing your health, efficiently releasing weight if needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my coaching, I do help people recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results, sometimes good and sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life to succeed. It's also imperative to manage your emotions and release those low vibrational emotions such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because they'll slow you down and get you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon that has ballasts, I help my clients release those emotional ballasts to uplift to a happier, healthier life. And in turn, they are releasing their stress and reshaping their core beliefs. You'll see and feel the difference in my coaching programs. Ask me about them by setting up a complimentary consultation at my link tree at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChanges Live as in Victory ES.com/linktree LINKTREE, and I'll guide you to that better, healthier life with natural solutions for mind, body, and soul. Now, currently we are living in uncertain times, and people are losing their jobs. And yes, there's some international disturbances, so to speak. And as I stated before, it's crucial to have a positive mindset to navigate through these type of times. And also recognize, you can't control external factors. I have a new workshop called Empower Your Mind and Life, where you'll learn how to manage your stress and emotions. It's on Saturday, on June 21st at 9 a.m. Pacific. And you want to go to the site for more details, bit.ly/empower your mind and life. And register for it. Now, I'm always believe that health and wealth go hand in hand. It's important to be confident and less stressed to be healthier and wealthier. As well, you need your health to enjoy your wealth. So today I'm really excited to have Stephanie Groschup, the co-founder and the president of GM Wealth Group, a women-owned and operated wealth management firm based in Dallas, Texas. Now, Stephanie has over 2 decades of industry experience. She guides her firm with investment strategies, as well as resources and research and strategic development. We'll be discussing the psychology of money, cultivating a positive mindset. So let's welcome Stephanie Groschup, the co-founder and president of GM Wealth Group. Stephanie, welcome to my show.
Oh, thank you, Debbie. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, I'm so glad you decided to join us. So thank you. Now, in life, people have what are called core beliefs, which are your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and many facets of your life, whether it's business, health, or wealth. And they do get mind blocks in these areas. What are the psychological barriers that can impede people's focus in realizing their money goals?
Well, there are some big ones. I think it all starts back to your core beliefs. So if you think about, your childhood, all those things that you're told or the things that you tell yourself, those things become your beliefs. They
Yes.
First they become your thoughts, and then they become your emotions, and then they become deep-rooted beliefs. And
Mhm.
depending on what type of situation you may find yourself in, you can face things like fear, like guilt, and stress. And when you add money into the equation, those things can get exacerbated.
They certainly can, because money, I got to say, probably was told this when they're a child. Money doesn't grow on trees, right?
Yeah.
And so people are really have a scarcity mindset when it comes to money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's due to that root belief that their parents gave them.
Mm-hmm.
And in all reality, my parents grew up the Depression time. And they actually did really well. My father was a attorney and was also part of the JAG Corps. And, he bought a home down in California, Southern California. And my mom actually taught at the Beverly Hills school system. So they were bringing quite a bit of money in. But they did have, because of the way they grew up, that's where their core beliefs came from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, their health beliefs as well.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, when someone has a scarcity mindset, how do you navigate that?
Well, I think, and I have to tell you, I did not grow up with a money tree in my backyard, but I will say that I did grow up in an upper middle class family that had, very solid values, much like your own. And I think that, I had the benefit of, a really strong supportive father who would tell me things like, always finish what you start, and always say what you mean, and things like that. Pay yourself first. And all of those values got instilled in me as a child. And I think that sometimes when we overlook all of those values that we grew up with and we get caught up in the day to day, we can get caught up with, we receive news today quickly, much more quickly than we used to even 10 and 20 years ago.
Definitely.
So you can get swept up into this range of emotions and find yourself in a situation where, your thoughts create lack and limit.
Exactly.
So what you have to do is find a way to reframe those beliefs,
Yes.
right? And it's really important. I'd like to say that sometimes when you have a fear of the unknown, for example, reframe that thought and think, well, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I look forward to see what comes my way. It's a reframing of a negative thought.
Exactly. And that's why positivity is so needed. People look at me um, during the times where we were locked down. I was always running. I never stayed in the house. I'm a runner. As you know, I do half marathons. I run 5 miles a day, 4 or 5 a week. Yeah. And at first, it was like people were just like, don't even want to look at you. So I would say, hello. And that made them smile.
Yeah.
and I can tell by the eyes they were smiling if they were wearing a mask, which I thought was okay. You can wear a mask. But what's really funny, and I think I told the story before, a lot of people were walking their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And the dogs didn't understand what was going on. They're happy-go-lucky and getting all this walking treatment. But my whole point is that I always did something called happy runner chats after 1 day a week of my run.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was, I was just very optimistic. I said, this is not going to last forever. We're going to get back to where we need to get back at, and all this other stuff. I don't know if you know Viktor Frankl. Yeah. So, he went through a really bad war
Mm-hmm.
and was a Nazi concentration prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really horrible.
Right. Right.
But, that's my whole point. As I mentioned him, once, and I mentioned all this other stuff. And my happy runner chat became this uplifting, optimistic thing. And people were, and people are really enjoying it, actually. But that optimistic and positivity is what's going to get you through life.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And I tell my clients this all the time. It's not what holds you back is not who you are. It's who you believe you're not.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. And people are meant to grow and learn.
Right.
And they can grow like a tree grows a new limb. They can just become, something a little different, and also be very profitable, as well as, bringing and helping a lot of people and productive.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she's like, a stay-at-home mom, and she's obviously not very happy about it. And I felt really sad for her because, I understand those times. I was there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I focused on my son, but I always had a side gig to keep my creative flow going. And that is possible. That really is possible.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. So, having multiple streams of income is important. So.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is.
Now, understanding my clients' mindsets gives me clues to how to approach them regarding health. What strategies do you use when you're talking to somebody or helping them examine their own mindset?
I'll tell you, I've been doing this a long time, Debbie. I've been helping people manage wealth and to meet their goals for 24 years now. So I've developed a strategy over time and understanding what people's goals are and how they meet them. And I first start with, I want to understand what their financial health is currently. And I think that's very important because it's not about how much money you earn or how much money you save. It's a combination of many things, including strategies to get you to the next level. But you also have to be willing to do the work. And I think that it's important not only to have that positive belief, like we were talking about just a few minutes ago, but you have to be willing to put in the work to get yourself to that place that you call your goal or your successful place. And what does that look like? Well, I'll give you an example of some famous people that we probably all know and the things that they do, what we call solidifying their beliefs or doing the work. Everybody knows who Warren Buffett is.
Yes, right? I do.
Yes. Well, this man reads 5 to 6 hours a day.
I know.
And he always says knowledge pays the best interest, right?
Yes.
So he wants to be constantly learning and evolving. That is so important because you don't want to stagnate in your life in terms of your health or your wealth, right? So it's important to continue to do those things to create that future for yourself. I'll give you another example. The gold medal gymnast, Simone Biles.
Okay.
You've probably seen some interviews with her, and she's talked about her mental health and how important that is to her. And she went through a period during the Olympics where she couldn't get some of her moves right.
Okay.
And the whole idea is repetition. So she went back and she's like, I'm just going to focus on doing the same thing over and over and over until I get it right. Because we know that repetition strengthens and confirms, right?
Yes. It's like building a muscle.
That's right. That's right. And then over time, you develop this skill set, you become a master at them. So, and without really even having to think about it.
True.
Right.
That's
So
true.
when it just becomes part of your daily habits, then it's something that you just do and you don't have to think about anymore.
That's very true, because I do instill healthy habits with people.
Mm-hmm.
And if those habits don't work, I modify them to something that does work, because that's the only way you can really establish a new lifestyle. That's pretty much what I do, is I help people establish a new lifestyle when it comes to the mindset or the eating or the health optimization. But first we need to look at what their core beliefs are to
Mm-hmm.
see what we need to navigate around or try to help them release them. But the healthy habits for me, as you heard, I just established that I was going to. Well, I established that with walking 4 to 5 days a week, and when I all of a sudden didn't have foot pain, it became easy into running, and I actually did it, and I was like, ah. And it was amazing. It was like doing something I was never able to do my whole life.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and that made me feel so good, because I was given a label. So my whole point is there's always possibilities, and you need to be open to possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to health, business, or wealth, there's always possibilities, and everything is figure outable. So
yes, it is. It is.
And you just need to, and some things, and we'll talk about in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You need to modify as you go along.
Of course.
My whole point is that this is how we grow and learn. And when you read or listen to podcasts or even listen to audiobooks, you're learning new concepts. They stick in your mind. You're like, aha. They add clarity, and they motivate you to be a different person and do different things.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you were talking about with wealth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's interesting because, we deal with all kinds of people, and we're based in Dallas, Texas, but we have clients all over the country.
Okay.
And we see people come in our offices, or we see them on Teams and Zoom and other types of virtual meetings. And, we hear things like, I'm so afraid I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out that I'm worried that this is going to affect my financial health. I am so ashamed that I'm this successful and I don't even know how I got here. Or, you hear all kinds of things. And we help people to reframe all of those thoughts into more positive emotions. Because remember, like I said, what holds you back is not who you are, it's who you believe you're not. Right?
Exactly. And when you are on those negative emotions, like I said before, they do slow you down and get you stuck. But you're also activating the sympathetic nervous system, where you freeze, you run, flight, and you can also, fight. My whole point is that you're not thinking clearly during these times. Your emotions kind of cloud your thinking, as well as they slow you down. And really, you need to be more proactive and think of these positive reframing and handle a situation. And sometimes you're given a situation that you didn't quite expect. You're like, whoa, where did that come from? And that person is having an issue and maybe misinterpreted what you said. And sometimes it's not you, it's that whatever went in that person's mind. Also, like I said at the beginning, gosh, we can't control what's going on out there in the world. We can only control how we respond to it.
That's absolutely correct.
And when people are saying, I'm anxious, I'm frozen, I don't know what to do. And I'm sure that was happening during those times we were in the lockdown. And in all reality, people were very uncertain. They didn't know what to do at the time either. But if you get yourself out of that foggy mindset and start thinking out of the box, there's possibilities to work around things.
That's right. That's right. Even in the world that we live in today, with all the uncertainty that is surrounding us, even now, there's opportunity in uncertainty.
Yes,
It's
there is.
just like you said, it's not about the situation, it's how you receive it and then how you respond to it.
Yes. And even though things are uncertain, variety gives you so much growth potential, so much to build that muscle, so much, I can run now.
That's right. That's right.
And things like that. So now when it comes to goals, I use SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant and timely. Could you quickly, we talked about reframing a lot. Could you talk about how you help people set clear, achievable wealth goals with your clients?
Absolutely. That starts with understanding where they are today. We want to meet our clients where they are today.
Yeah.
And then understanding where it is they want to be tomorrow. And then we have to help them to fill the gap.
Okay.
And so we don't want to create a plan that's overwhelming. We want to start with what I call many, many steps. And we'll celebrate those achievements along the way.
You sound so much like me. Continue.
And I think that's important because you don't want to say, okay, we'll check the box, moving on. I think you should celebrate those many successes along the way, because I think it makes the achievement of the final goal even more meaningful once you've achieved it.
It makes them recognize it more. And sometimes when we set up these SMART goals, these specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, timely goals, it's something that you were projecting at that time. And maybe it became not really that achievable, and you need to modify them. It wasn't exactly what you expect. So that's why variety and changing things and reviewing is so important.
Yes.
Since that came up, how often do you review things with your clients in a year?
It depends on the situation, and that would apply to an individual client. But on a typical basis, we'll have formal meetings with clients once per year, but we review regularly. And behind the scenes, the work that we're doing, that's more of a monthly, but we have formal meetings on an annual basis.
Okay. For some people that I've worked with, I would have preferred if they reviewed, actually talk to me a little bit more. That it's just the way that, things go these days. And I tell you the truth, if there's nothing earth-shattering going on, shattering. There's probably nothing to really, say. Everything is going well as planned. But reviewing things and seeing how productive you are, and to tell you the truth, you're going to get statements in the mail too.
Absolutely.
And that's going to give you some idea of what's going on as well.
Yes.
But if you have questions, I'm sure your clients are welcome to call you, right?
Oh, absolutely. I call it an open door policy. You can call me anytime you want, and I'll be happy to talk with you about anything you like.
So if they had an idea about changing something because they heard about something, they just call you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Now, with reframing, and what exactly is? We talked about certain other things about reframing, but one thing I do with people is I help them pivot. or accept their pivot when they have to make changes, when changes arise. And I did that a lot during that lockdown. But, what are some things that you have people either reframe or pivot or think about? Or do you kind of just spoon feed an idea to them?
Well, I like to look at my relationships with a client as just that. It's a relationship and a journey, not a transaction. So I think that it's more of a collaborative effort. So we have communication on a regular basis to talk about specific things and ideas. So if a client brings something to me, I'll certainly look at it and then we'll discuss if that fits within their plan or not. But in terms of reframing, some of the conversations that we have with people, a lot of people are afraid to make mistakes. But, mistakes are just life's education, right? So everybody's going to make mistakes, and we can't get caught up on, oh, that happened and I missed that. Or, you have to look at it as, what did I learn from this? And how can I use that information to improve?
Very true. Especially when it's coming to managing and learning to, for the client themselves, to manage the way they spend and finding out, oh, I shouldn't purchase this. I've made this big mistake. We're only human.
Yes.
Who makes mistakes regarding health too. And you never know when you have a freak accident, like I broke my foot.
Yes.
I mean, you just never know. And that's why it's nice to have some kind of, backup plan or some nest egg to rely on. And, perfectionism is a way that really brings people down emotionally. And like you said, no one's perfect.
Right.
And even though you've made a mistake, you can learn from it and you can become that better person versus the person that's stuck into this being imperfect.
Right.
Because everybody, as we said, obviously over and over again, we need to grow and learn.
Yes.
But like an artist who's carving something, think of someone chiseling a artwork for a wedding. And he says, I need to get this perfect. I need to get this perfect. All of a sudden he hits it and it just shatters.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's why, you want to, be aware, oh, this looks really good. And if you want to revisit it, that painting or whatever you did, and you're not going to make it shatter, but of course, ice sculpture, you will.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to start over again. That's my whole point.
That's true. And I think it's the Japanese art form, Katsugi, I believe is the name of it, where you see, for example, a bowl that was made and it had a crack or it was broken, and they fill that with gold because they want to remember those imperfections in life, right?
That's
So
cool.
you think about, let's celebrate those imperfections. Let's celebrate those mistakes because they can help guide us to more education, evolving, even, just moving our compass just slightly one way or the other so that we get where we want to be. But without those things, we have no experience, right? And life is really about experience.
Yes, it is really about experience. And the younger set, I have somebody that's younger. They think, I got to do this now. I didn't get this done in the amount of time. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, cool it. Go with the flow.
Yeah.
I mean, and even when you have children, your life gets diverted a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean it's your purpose in life. Right now, you need to do X, Y, and Z, whether you're taking care. I was part of a generation when I had to take care of my mom and my son, who had, he had a lot of therapies when he was younger. And it was I felt like I was being pulled in so many different directions. And that
Exactly.
was the time for me to take care of them. And if I didn't do that, my son wouldn't be the way he is today. But like I said, I always had a side job. I always had a side, craft or something I like to do. I'm very artsy. I do mixed media. I do digital scrapbooking. I do a whole bunch of different things.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And I've been that way my whole entire life. When I was a child, this is going to be funny. I actually, we had I don't know, it was fifth grade when we studied the Civil War.
Mhm.
I actually I took Gone with the Wind. I made puppets and a script and a puppet stand and and backdrops. And I performed it with the puppet.
Wow.
I got an A. And that puppet stand ended up in the kindergarten room for that school because we didn't want to take it back. But that's my whole point. I always thought out of the box.
Mhm.
Now, when it comes to wealth, how do you think out of the box?
Oh, in many ways. And I think that, yet again, it's per the individual because everything that we do is very customized to a client.
Yes, it
But I
has to be.
will say this, I think that a lot of people just think that everything we do is just stocks and bonds and that's that. You have an asset allocation that applies to your risk tolerance and that's all we need to know. It's so much bigger than that. We want to understand you as a person. And I think that's very out of the box.
Yes, it
We
is.
want to understand like what your purpose is because your money needs to help you fulfill that purpose.
Yes.
I think that's also very out of the box.
Yes, it is.
We look at things from the whole person and not just a piece.
Yes.
And of course, we want you to have a very healthy relationship with your money, but all those things go into that. They're all pieces of the pie.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Is it Robert Kiyosaki had a game that I forgot the name of the game, but it was kind of like Monopoly for money.
Yes.
And I had that. It was a kids game.
Yeah.
And we played it with my son. And I
Mhm.
think that really instills some values with money.
Yes.
I think kids and younger adults and things like that are not taught. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't taught, other than balance of the checkbook, about strategies of money.
Mhm.
And it was and to tell you the truth, our parents didn't really invest either because of that scarcity mindset, probably of the
Right.
depression, or maybe they just didn't have all this information to work with.
Mhm.
I don't know. But it's so important to be open to different ideas, different solutions that fits the individual,
Yes.
just like it is for health. You never know when something goes awry and you need an alternative solution to get you over it. It's
Mhm.
important to have your mind open to it and try it. And also to be patient. Just like money, it takes time. So does health. You have trillions of cells
Yes.
and you need to repair cells over time.
Right.
And I'm sure it's the exact same thing with wealth.
Absolutely, it is. I look at it as a journey, and
Mhm.
you continue to take steps throughout your wealth building journey
Mhm.
throughout your life. I never look at it as, okay, we've done one thing and we're done. It's never going to be like that. It does take time and patience, and you've got to keep putting effort into it. Like I said before, you've got to do the work. You've got to continue to put the effort into it to be
Yes.
able to make the goals you set for yourself. It's so important.
And like we said before, for health, there's going to be an area that's like, okay, this didn't quite work. Let's see what I have other solutions. I just don't have one. And
Mhm.
just change that up to be something else that maybe this person is more into doing those repetitive tasks in that area. I'm
Right.
sure it's the exact same thing for wealth.
It's absolutely the same thing. You think about when, the situation that we're in now, where things are uncertain, things are volatile, that is really kind of, it makes my point is that this is a journey. This is a long-term goal that we're after here. It's going to take repetitive tasks over and over and over to meet that. And you can't worry about the noise right now.
Yes.
You have to focus on the purpose and the future.
Yeah. And I call noise inflammation in the body.
Yes.
Or, those thoughts, that trillions of, not trillions, but thousands of thoughts, 70,000 thoughts a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's noise too, that you got to stop listening to that chatter.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go somewhere, but that thought just went out the window. But anyways, is there anything else you want to say for a few minutes about your services and what you can say?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, our firm is very unique in that we offer a holistic view of a person's wealth. We offer financial planning, investment management, tax mitigation, education planning, the whole gamut. We would call ourselves a full service financial services firm based in Dallas, Texas. And what I would offer your listeners today is a consultation. If you mention Debbie, I'll be happy to give you a free consultation. And you can contact me via my website at www.gmwealthllc.com. You can also go to my bio page in the website, and you can connect with me via LinkedIn there as well.
That's cool. That thought that went out of my head was, I provide education to my clients too. Obviously, the show is one of those. Knowing how to manage your wealth brings down your stress.
Yes.
And are there any books you can recommend people to read?
Oh gosh, there's so many. That was a tough question. I'm going to have to think about that for a second.
Think about that. But I really, I didn't mean to stump you.
That's okay. That's okay.
Maybe something that Warren Buffett wrote, or
oh yeah, I mean he's written many books. There's books on how to educate yourself in terms of valuing securities. I'm trying to think of a couple of titles. Okay. That one went out too. But there are lots of books out there. Even just The Millionaire Next Door is one that kind of comes to mind. And it talks about, saving and investing and how important it is to do that on a regular basis. And you might be surprised who your millionaire next door is. But that's one of my favorite books, and it's been around forever.
Okay. Well, I think your offer of that free consultation, and they should probably mention Debbie Changes Lives.
Yes.
LIVES. Sometimes people think I say something else. And because she'll know where the lead came from, so to speak. And I am really looking forward to a future collaboration that we're going to do together. So you got to keep your ears open for when that happens, everybody.
Yes.
So, thank you for that wonderful offer. And would you be my guest again on another show?
Of course I would. I'd be happy to do that.
Okay. So please stick around for closing remarks. I'll probably have more time. And I'm going to start saying other things about me. And then I'll come to you where you can do your closing remarks. Okay?
Okay. Absolutely.
Thank you. Remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health. I do help you correct your gut. I also help you with stress. I also help you, with some, with your brain and inflammation and everything else. Anything you can possibly imagine. The gut-brain connection is really important for, when you have emotions and stress and having mental clarity. So I guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrient products to help reduce symptoms, as well as, if you need to release some weight, that may happen. And that's going to uplift you, whether you you're just becoming healthier is going to uplift your mood. With my mindset coaching, I do help you release those emotions and stress and attainments in the past. And all this is going to reshape your core beliefs. Your mindset will be enhanced. And with my health optimization and weight release that is efficient, your body is going to be, so much healthier and efficient. So that mind-body connection is going to make your soul sing. So ask me about my programs by setting up a complimentary consultation at my link tree at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChangesLives, as in victory, es.com/linktree, LINKTREE. And there you get to know me, I get to know you, and I'll guide you to your optimal health. And it does begin with 1 or 2 assessments. Now, the first one is the health evaluation, where you rate your systems in the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are repeated in multiple categories. Answer every one of them, and you'll get a health score. I will review it with you. When you move forward with my services, I'll create that custom natural holistic strategy for you based on what you need, and we'll monitor this on a monthly basis. I also have 2 body scans, and they're all done by Zyto. Zyto changed ZytoLink to the ZeroLink. It's the exact same company, where I can send that remotely internationally and actually sent one to South Africa. And what the ZeroLink is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds. It's only looking at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, emotional, and different body systems and lifestyles. That emotional element is so crucial. It creates a wellness report of biomarkers out of range and products and services that bring it back into range. And it's quite intensive, and I do review it with you. The cost of the scan is $75. And when you move forward with buying a program or product, I'll give you a $25 discount on one of them. Now, I also have a family pack of 5 where you can save $50. The ZeroLink is that transdermal optical imaging app, also known as TOI, and you can look up its accuracy at pubmed.gov, pubmed.gov, and it'll tell you how accurate it is. People are really amazed what their body tells them through the scan, and you'll be too. So, if you're curious, get your first one done by going to that consultation button and getting it done. Also on the site are my programs. Take Your Body Back is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you can utilize a new version of you for your success. All coaching is done on Zoom. And the first one's always private to everybody because I go over your health assessments. I give you a choice between 2 meal plans, directions on one, and I also give you instructions how to create that new version of you that's going to drive you to your success for your health and weight transformational goals throughout your journey because it's driving you emotionally and passionately to achieve it. The rest of the coaching is the same for group or private coaching. We'll be celebrating your wins, be using those boards to drive you forward, and I get you over your gaps with health and mindset tips. You will become a new you. You can ask me more about this program, my consultation, as well as watch a previous episode of Holistic Self-Love for more details. Just remember that my price has gone up. And Why Fast is an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming, and in turn boosts your metabolism with rich, dense nutrition and high-quality essential nutrients. Here you can ask me questions about that program. If you feel like you need some coaching, there's like a 2 or 4-week program that you can utilize and move forward on. And you can pay for coaching as you go if you wish. You can also use these smaller programs for health enhancement as well as health optimization coaching. Truly, those are longer term journeys and may be more beneficial to buy the bigger package, or I can create a custom package for you. And for a limited time, I do have Debi's coaching chats, which is a 30-minute, you can go to the next slide, coaching session in an intimate group setting. And it's not recorded, and a survey picks a topic. You can learn to optimize your health, ways to release stress and emotions, efficiently release weight, how to harmonize your hormones for body balance, create a winning mindset, and utilize that for health and weight transformations. And of course, create that new version of you in a health and in a creating version of you in in the avatar board, they'll drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformational goals throughout your journey. These meetings are on 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you need to be registered for it. And yes, it's at Debi Changes Lives. And it's DebiChangesLives as in victory es.com/chat CHTS. And you'll learn what my coaching is all about. Finally, learn more about alternative health. Services, programs, products, offers, articles, blogs, upcoming shows, events, and promos by subscribing to my newsletter at DebiChangesLives.com. This time /radio TV show, all in lowercase, as one word. And I give you a gift, a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitudes, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, as well as food, water, nutritional supplements, and exercise you do on a daily basis. You can even track your measurements. Then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see your wins and celebrate them. Find your gaps to work on. If you need help bridging your gap, you contact me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. It really makes you notice what's going on. Now, I am certain that you found this show educational, eye-opening, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, programs, products, and offers. And reach out to Stephanie for her services and offer. And now we have time for closing remarks with Stephanie. So can we have her back?
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to leave you with this, is that wealth isn't just about money. It's deeply rooted in our behaviors and our beliefs.
Yes.
The greatest assets really are your beliefs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And your greatest prospects are the ones that you create.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So your beliefs create your habits, and your habits form your future.
Yes. And it boils down to health as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If you believe something is HARD,
Yeah.
It's going to be HARD.
That's right.
But really, making these changes in small increments is not that hard. And you'll find it that it will flow.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find it that, wow, why didn't I do this long ago?
Mm-hmm.
Which definitely comes, in the same aspect with, your beliefs, your feelings, and your emotions, and your thoughts. And it sounds like you would be just like me. You help people recognize where these thoughts and beliefs or emotions are coming from, and help them to release them as best as they can. And it's going to make a person healthier and wealthier. And I truly hope you believe what I believe.
I do.
It's important to have your health, enjoy your wealth, because when you're unhealthy, it kind of zaps your wealth.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any other thing you want to say? And then I got to wrap up the show.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on today. I really enjoyed talking with you and discussing the subjects of health and wealth. And there's so much more to talk about. So I look forward to being on your show again.
Yes. And I'm really looking forward to our collaboration coming soon. So thank you for being here, Stephanie. I love this interview. So thank you.
Thank you.
So continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.